Welcome to the Page Turner Adventures Creative Literacy Program, filled with crafts and activities that get kids excited about books and reading. We are going to make a pigeon puppet from Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus and Pigeon Finds a Hot Dog, among other titles by Mo Willems. And I love the pigeon, love the books, and I have to say I've managed to work the pigeon into every workshop that I have done for the past 5 years because I really like the pigeon and he's been popular among other people as well. And you know, it's one of those things I thought, how can we work him in this year? Let's see, it's travel, he's not driving a bus transportation, it works. So we're gonna do the pigeon. It's fun, and what you need to use for it are some materials that I'm gonna go over right now. We need a 5-inch styrofoam ball. Now I have to say, with these directions and with these materials, pretty much everything that we're doing in this workshop is recycled stuff or super cheap materials or stuff you're already going to have around. But the pigeon is one of the projects, I think one of the only projects that does use slightly more expensive materials. But I will say, this is really more of a storytelling prop that you'll make once and then you can use for many, many years. This guy is a few years old and it's lasted for quite a while. So, you know, if you want to invest a little bit, not super expensive, but not free either. So, you know, if you want to make just one and then you have it, it's well worth it. So, styrofoam ball, this is a 5-inch styrofoam ball. It does cost about $4 for this styrofoam ball. This is free. You're going to need a paint stick that you can get from Home Depot or Lowe's or wherever. You're going to need some glue. You can use some Elmer's glue. You can use some hot glue if you want. I think in the directions I actually said hot glue, but it doesn't really matter. It's just something to kind of keep the stick in the styrofoam ball. And then you're going to use Model Magic, which is a product from Crayola. Rose Art also makes a version of this, but it is a kind of clay. So we do need, and this is where it gets a little expensive because these are about $4 a package. The Rose Art version is slightly cheaper, but might be a little bit harder to find. So Model Magic is what you're going to use. So you're going to need it in the sky blue, package of white, package of black, and a package of yellow. So you need the Model Magic. And then also you can either paint the stick or you can use electrical tape or some duct tape when we're all finished to just kind of finish off the stick. So here we go, we're gonna start. The first step is to take your styrofoam ball, take your paint stick, and you're just going to shove the paint stick into the styrofoam ball. Just shove that paint stick. Kind of work it in there a little bit. There we go. That's good. So now, I mean, it's really on there pretty well. I don't really have to put glue, but I want this thing to last a while, so I'm just gonna pull it out. I'm gonna squirt a little bit of glue in there just to kind of give it a little extra staying power. Then I'll put the paint stick back in. There we go. And that's it. I can still work with it like this. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna set that aside. I'm gonna open up my package of Sky Blue Model Magic. So if you haven't worked with Model Magic before, this is Model Magic. It's a clay, but it's kind of like a, it's almost a plasticine type of clay. It feels really good. It's fun to play with. It's really not messy. It's a very soft, moldable, easy to work with clay, and then it air dries. So it's going to air dry overnight. If you do a thicker project, it might take 2 days to dry. This one is going to be pretty thin. It should take about 1 day to dry. And when it dries, this is what you get. You get this hard material that is pretty sturdy, and also it's very light, because if this was some sort of modeling clay, it would be way too heavy for a puppet. So the Model Magic is a very light material, fun to work with. So the first thing that we're going to do is take our blue and we're going to roll it out. Now you can work with this for a while, but then when you're done with it, you do want to put it into a plastic baggie because it will dry out. So I'm going to roll this, and Again, it's not even getting on my work surface. And I'm going to press it out flat because this is going to go over my styrofoam ball. Rolling pin would be a good thing to use right about now too. Let's see, maybe I'll use my duct tape. Okay. So now I've got that rolled out. I'm going to lay it on top of the ball. And then I'm going to continue to kind of stretch it out because I want it to cover the entire ball, and I even want it to go down onto the neck. So I hope I have enough here. One package should be enough. I'm just going to slowly work it down the neck, and by working it down the neck, you give the pigeon a neck, and also it helps to hold the entire thing together. So you can even use the roll of duct tape to help you roll it out. Alright, so you're going to get it as smooth as you can, or as much as you have patience for. This is the hardest part of the whole thing, is just kind of getting this part down and smooth. Alright, I'm going to put that aside, and be careful when you put it down because it is going to kind of flatten out a little bit because it's still very soft and pliable. Alright, so the next step is going to be to take some white Model Magic. We're going to use some white Model Magic to make the eyes. So I'm going to break off a piece about that big, about, you know, the size of a large marshmallow. How about that? And you're going to work that. And I'm going to do 2 pieces that are the same size. So I have my 2 little eyeballs, and now I'm going to flatten them out because that pigeon's got some big, wide eyes. All right, I think we're good. Let's see. About the same size? About the same size. So I'm going to do an eyeball over there. Do the exact opposite side. All right, so I'm going to make a little neck piece over here. Doesn't need to be super even because we're going to cover it with some black in a minute. So one thing that really gives the pigeon its look is this black outline, the black pupil obviously, but also the black outline. So we're going to do that part, and we're going to do the pupil. Now I've got a little bit of black left over here. I'm not sure if that's going to be enough, but we'll start with that. Now, if you see this, to kind of give him the right look, you don't want to put the pupil directly in the center of the eye. You're just going to kind of put it slightly more towards the front of the face. So we have our pupils. Next step is going to be to do the black outline around the eyes and around the neck. So I'm going to take some of this black and roll it out into a nice big thick piece of spaghetti. I don't want to rest this down here because I think it's going to squish my eye and it's going to squish the head. You don't have to do it. You can rest it on something, but Kenny's going to help me. Kenny's hand is going to help me. Now I'm going to put that around the eyeball. Thanks. Okay, and I'm going to break that piece off. We have one eye. See, that black outline really makes a nice difference. All right, I think that's looking pretty close to what it was before. Hey, Kenny, hold the pigeon. Where are you? Come here. Thanks. Alrighty, thank you. Thanks. All right, so you can see, kind of let that go down a little bit. We have 2 eyeballs, looking good, almost there. Now I'm gonna take some of these pieces that I already rolled. I'm gonna just do a little bit of a collar around the neck. This one I'm gonna make a little bit thicker. All right, we are up to the beak. Now look at that beak. It's just a cute little easy beak. So we're gonna make the beak. I'm gonna roll out some yellow and I'm just gonna kind of press it into a little shape like a little beak. It's kind of like a triangle, and you're gonna leave some left over so that you can like really kind of give it this top part just so a little bit sticks out on top. The pigeon. Now, the bottom stick, I'm not gonna do it right now, but this one I covered in a yellow electrical tape. You can, again, paint the stick, or I could cover it in red duct tape. So there you have it. Don't let the pigeon drive the bus. And if you wanna give the pigeon a hot dog.
Hey, can I have a hot dog? Hey, let me try. Let me try. Let me try!
No, duckling, you can't have a hot dog. Can I have a hot dog? Okay.
Do you have a hot dog? Do you have a hot dog?
Can I see it? Okay, so this is Duckling from Pigeon Finds a Hot Dog. And as you can see, he's obviously a lot smaller. So if you do want to make this with kids and you don't want to use the 20 pounds of Model Magic that gets expensive, you can make little puppets. You're still going to have to use some Model Magic, but definitely not quite as much. So this one I just used a little styrofoam ball, a little popsicle stick. I didn't even use glue to attach it. I just stuck it right in the head, some yellow, and we have Pigeon and Duckling. For more great crafts and activities, visit our blog at pageturneradventures.com.